je chenpo tsu de nying me shen song ne molam chenpo nga je ta peka ta nga tsen de chil me do tenpa tu je chen la ku cha ca u jin so lin pe men dong bo la kya we nam cho rang jo lun je do tsen so pe je yun ten so bar wa pe man jo nen da lun pe tsu jong le ben lu do arya te wa ta thong me yin yin cho lang chu ji da yun ten we dan sha je we je cha jen do chong yin nam la ku cha ca wo men chu ji yin je po dan ne tu sum san je kun ji ngo wo ni rang sim chu gu ngon sum ten je ba za we la me sha la so wa de ta so de we lam nan chu lan ju kong ju to ba po wa jin ji lo 다 택바 첨부기 아니 최 센당대 굴롱 장주기 셈을 버치더니 원도 땅내 최 센고인디 다테나시 나로 제슈인
In accordance with the great vehicle, the proper way to receive the teachings is within the state of bodhicitta, right? So before actually starting to receive the teachings, we all are urged to engender this pure motivation of the awakened mind of bodhicitta. So let's then also do that right now.
다tin ngaran 쪽이 달럽종 제도 대 저기 dom시레 안 대인나네다 아니 된다 숨바디 콜라 또 삼람만 못한 것이 자기 요래.
The topic that we are concerned with here is the 4 seals of Dharma, and specifically we are focusing on the 3rd Dharma seal.
다 가진 림보제 송원하신 제윤디 최탐지 최진 동신 다음에 바인데 제밥의 동신 딱지 라완진이 다 매비치리 송유라
Just as Rinpoche taught during the seminar, so the subject that we are investigating are all phenomena. That's right, what we are concerned with here. And what is to be proven is that subject, all phenomena, are emptiness and devoid of self, and especially they're devoid of any creator, right, who created those phenomena. Why? And the reason is because there's no permanent, independent, truly existent creator that could be found.
디 난기다 김젠 타마로티 라왕진기 다 매바 산다 디르삼탄 고레스.
Especially here, the 4th line, right, which is the reason, because there is no this kind of independent self, right, independent of other causes and conditions, this truly existent self that creates.
다디기 촉진의 삼로 땅땅텔라 데니 라완진 마인소나 가리레 라이든 텐데레 심차게.
On one hand, what we should understand from this reasoning is that when we state that it is not independent, right, what is implied is that, well, it is then interdependent, right? Interdependently originated.
가진 공도 슈바나 신기 차베 미타바라 되네 동니기 고알레 숭용디 코랑 미타바 규르베랑신 차와테 깨직직이 ngo라야 네베기 라와 메바 인디 동니 차기 요레 숭라.
Just as I already explained day before yesterday, is on the account of subtle impermanence, which is to say momentariness, that we can establish the emptiness of all phenomena, right? How come? Well, momentariness means that not a single phenomenon ever has any autonomy to remain for more than a moment.
Tinduta tendil sung de ka sung anzo tenni kepa tang tene takbas ta tini ni kan sheyung ra.
When we talk about an interdependent, let me say it again, interdependent origination, right? We need to understand that there are two types that we identify here. One is the causal dependent origination, and that everything arises based on causes and conditions. And the second type of interdependent origination is known as the interdependence of mutual designation. That everything is labeled independence on something other than itself.
Teni rikpe cheba chenyung du teni nangwa thamji ta tene takba cham chage re tön la marupa.
And when we use reasonings, we come to understand that all phenomena without exception, exactly the subject of the second interdependent origination, which is to say that they all are nothing but mere imputations.
Ko rawan che mayin du luwa tulba imba ta ngoshe go re.
They are not independent, right? That is to say that they are deceiving by nature.
Tin tin anzo kunzo nangwe chö thamji ta milam da kyuma ta re sungen di ta korang rawan me ba tödup imba tende imba ngo tongni imba la imba ta to ma she ne nangwa tul de ba imba chik ta ko lep go re.
So when we say that all relative appearances are nothing but an illusion, a dream, we mean that they are of deceiving nature, right? They appear as dream, as illusion, because we don't recognize their true nature, which is emptiness. Their true essence is emptiness or interdependent origination, right? They lack any true and autonomous, independent nature. They're not established in and of themselves, but we fail to recognize that, and so we are confused. That's how we need to understand this appearances, relative appearances.
Kewa tar tu nang na yang ani tön la ma ke ba imba ti umi rikpe cheba ngondu song na ngeba thong yung ra.
And even though all these appearances, all these phenomena, they appear, and they appear as being really there, meaning that they appear as though they have originated, seemingly so. But in reality, they lack true origination or production, right? And by employing reasonings, logical arguments, we can actually gain certainty in that statement that though they appear as though they're really there, but in reality, they lack that true origination, true existence.
Ngaran tsogi ke re sine sungu yore de ina ya khandi shi ke re sin takshin yakbu tang na da ke mi she ba je re do umi rikpe takshin che na.
We do say, right? We use language when we say, oh, things do appear, they come into existence, right? Which is to say they are, there is origination. We say so. But if we really question, but how is that origination? How is that really possible for things to have that kind of, right, production, true production? If we investigate using madhyamika, that is to say middle way reasonings, we see that that's not the case, really. What we think, it's not really true.
Nangwa tar tu dembar matu ba sung yung ra.
While they appear, they lack true existence.
Ta nangwa tar tu dembar matu ba di ngeba ti umi tensik tang ta lame menga la tene ta ngeba thong go re.
And it is based on reasonings, logical reasonings of Madhyamika, and also based on PIF instructions, introductions from our own root masters, that we can gain certainty in the fact that all phenomena, while appear at the same time, those phenomena are not truly established.
당가란 쪽이 곰 냠낸 제디 덴바 타르도 봐도 곰 냠낸 제고라 줌바디 냠낸 제 말아와.
When we meditate, we need to meditate on something that's true, right? We shouldn't be meditating on something that's really fake and deceiving by nature.
제장 다된 타르도 숭용디 군접 낭외 최탐제 냠수 렌자 타르도 바디 말에 숭거리.
And that's why on the ultimate level, really all these relative phenomena which are deceiving, right, fooling by nature, are not really an object of our meditation. They shouldn't be something that we take onto our practice.
다 람림바 신도 도이 값소 테네 ngaranzo 신의 거미야당 사 거미야당 아니 이두 거미야딘데 요래데 된 타르투발라 다 딘조 양 낭외 차딘조 검자 마르예스 검자 ngo마데 가르레 순디가 스네 동신 다음에 바드레 순거.
But here I did say on the ultimate, so means at the final stage. Of course, while we still gradually traverse the path, that is to say, we go stage by stage, we do meditate, right, on the relative phenomena by means of developing calm, abiding, well, like practicing calm abiding, that is to say, shamatha practice, by doing deity yoga, reciting mantras such as Om Mani Padme Hum. But those are all just provisional practices. At the final stage, we need to let go of all of those, and real practice at the end is the meditation on emptiness and selflessness.
다 검정 ngo마디 된 담배 템바 셈기 추니 동신 다음에 바딜라 안저고게레 송레.
So it is said that our real practice, the really final, ultimate practice, is the one of emptiness, selflessness. We also call it ultimate truth or the nature of the mind.
다 디인디 다 동시 다음에 베코르텔라 다 맹아기 룩다르도 제나 가진 름버치기 숭춘나라 디콜라 망부 숭여라 대가랑 레스.
To gain certainty that all phenomena are emptiness and selfless, based on PIF instructions, well, this we need to follow the instructions given by Rinpoche, for example, during the seminar.
다딜라 고아시게 고나더니 우메릭속라 속발라 뜨네 아니 강라양 짐바 제사민도 강야 마주바레도 삼베기다 우메릭속라더니 녜바 정당지기 고냥 검다야 요추그레스.
But also we could gain certainty, or we can say intellectual understanding of emptiness and selflessness by following the reasonings of the middle way, for example, 4 or 5 logical arguments of the middle way, and through those, like employing those reasonings, we can come to rest in the state which is free of any grasping whatsoever, really understanding that all phenomena lack the true existence. This is also a way we can follow.
다딜라 밍 딱당기 왕도 제바이나 택바 투몽 와라디 다음에 발라그러와 택바 침배 값수 똥니 당티데 숭용 그래. 되니 양 아기 값수 양다 델라 되니 값도 기양 ngagi rimba khorangi nala da ming taksul mangbu yorite dorduna yul khanla yan shemba mebe ngala ne tegarang la sungure.
And that's a state that we realize either through PIF instructions of teacher or through reasoning, has different names at the context of the common fundamental vehicle. It is called selflessness, a lack of a truly existing self. The context of the great vehicle, the Mahayana, it is known as emptiness, shunyata. At the Tantra, in the Tantric vehicle, it actually bear many different names depending on the level of the Tantra. But in short, we can say that that's it's known as the state that is completely devoid of any grasping or fixation whatsoever.
당가란도 딘데 고알랭 거 그래. 치 율라 딱제 땅 용두 아니 율랑신기 마두바 셰바 낭신 치네 랑기 셈데야 랑신기 마두바 ngö시소나 따티 랑신기 마두베 낭텔라 냠바르 샤이텔라 다 동신 담메베기 냠네 낭당데 숭용고라.
How can we understand this meditation? Is when we come to know that all outer objects lack true existence, and through that we also then come to realize that the mind that conceives of those outer objects likewise lacks true existence, and then we just let go into that state where we realize that the mind, the one that conceives of, also is not truly established, and we just rest, we meditate in that open, spacious space. That's known as meditation and emptiness or selflessness.
대가난신기 당니 다기 고양이 소엔디다 당니기 땅고빈일루 똥바니 텔라 아니 조르송와이나 된 당니 거르웨 칭지기 규레다 녀몽발레 탈와 차인디 당니 다기 고양이선 고아딘들랑 거라.
It is said in the Dharma that we are our own protectors. The Buddha said, you are your own protector. Actually, how can we protect ourselves? If we meditate, if we practice meditation and emptiness and selflessness, then through that we free ourselves of karma, of our disturbing emotions, afflictions, the causes of our suffering, right? And through that we become free. In this way, we actually become our own protectors.
다디 냠렌디 테니 당한저 상아 라멘낭라 숭용디 테니 낭동 작동 릭동 세네다 타니디네 숭용거라.
This practice on the tantric level is also, let's say, the instruction in the tantras for this practice is to recognize that all appearances are empty forms, all sounds are empty sounds, all thoughts are just empty thoughts. The Khenpo di Nanton, Jakton, Rikton, yes, empty awareness.
테니 낭라 랑신 메바 살라 짐바 메바 다디네 냠네 낭고레.
While they appear, they lack any nature. While there is clarity and clear, luminous light, there is no grasping.
다 밍망부 따그랬대야 셈디 추니 동시 다메바 디고 찍라 데 남바 타데곤 따바라 예 대가랑 찍됐어.
It has many different names, right? Those instructions you can see, right? They point out to the same thing from different angles. They all really point to the true nature of our minds. Empty, devoid of truly existent self, luminous. Just there are different terms that are used to point to that nature.
디인디 다디네라고라. 먼저 동살 송죽선 송도아 낭동 송죽엔 송 동살 송죽엔 송도아 다디 가지는 뭐지 ngoren 샤바 디ngo 코랑라 디랑 낭동리 디랑 작동리 대가랑 릭동리.
Dirang di nangvadi ran.
가지 나란조라 냠랭기 림바치 ngoren 요라 림바치기 어디 대밍라 동살 송죽라기도아 디 냠랭 쫑웨 값수 대가랑 낭동리 대가랑 작동리 대가랑 릭동래 카가 연말 대가랑래 민 도배군에 따라
Las, no, di nyamlendi dagarang las. How to say? Well, during the seminar, Rinpoche pointed out to us that the essence of this practice, which is known as the unity of clarity and emptiness, or the unity of appearances and emptiness, that practice itself, right, unity of emptiness and clarity, is what we also call the empty forms, empty sounds, empty awareness, just different names, but that's itself is that what Rinpoche pointed out.
가지 짐바 마시고 tel라 고거래
In essence, it just means to let go of any fixation and grasping. Just let it go. Be free of them.
다딜라 율기 넘버 나서바 나나양 율기 나와 tel라 상인 발매기 똑조에 마시고 봐서 송구도아 어따 딘데 고거래
We also need to understand this instruction from another angle is where we look at all these objects that do appear. We, at the same time, while observing them, we need to let go of any conceptuality whatsoever, not thinking any good thoughts about them, bad thoughts, neutral, just let go of any conceptual thoughts.
대가랑 말씀 주미래 송거래
It is known as the Prajnaparamita, which is beyond thoughts, beyond words, inexpressible, right? Unfathomable Prajnaparamita.
다 람기 냠린조 대가랑래 람기 덴바 송두 가서 냠린조 다 데레 송거래 된난 거 그랬다
This is the essence of the path. This is the real, right, pith instruction of what is the Dharma path. It's our main practice.
당연한 저 람디기 엔디우 상제 고방 톱스는 슈구라
And this exactly path will lead us to awakening, realization of a state of a Buddha.
다 냠린 대 제바 코랑 다 추구 남제라 차기서 추기구 냠린 대가랑 차기래
And this practice, it becomes the practice also where Dharmakaya is taking as the path. Hey, the practice itself is Dharmakaya.
다 데라 림보체기 깔럽나나 카투이나 디 룽지 숭용 그래 디 룽디라 삼노당나 야고시라 이래
And Rinpoche always use one quote, right, to support this really good one that we should spend some time reflecting on.
다데 셰바 스메디 녜바 된지 군도 상송다 다 데리
I'm not sure how beautifully Catherine translated during the seminar. So this present moment of consciousness, this fresh, natural present of consciousness is the ultimate Samantabhadra, non-abiding Samantabhadra.
데네 예네랑 단 잘만용 송다
We have never been separated from it from the very beginning.
무시행앙도 랑밥통 송다
So just let go into that natural state.
다디 대식경국민도 림보체 디콜 대시 망보 슈사라 다디 롱기 츠그레 땡이 텐서츠도 슈바이
I don't need to explain this profound verse. Rinpoche has already done that. I'm just reminding you here.
다 똥바니 곰 다음에 베트는 곰 다디 곰이래
This is the meditation on emptiness, on selflessness.
다른 뭐지 가져라 따바르시 곰 잡고래서 곰장 엄마 데레
Rinpoche always tells us, meditate, please practice, meditate. Well, this is what and how we should be meditating. That's what we need to meditate on.
Tadi ngaranzo semjen tham chigi gyula yene Dharma nyungwe chuldu gyu tewar shibe nyingbo sheba tegarang re.
And this is also Buddha nature, the enlightened core that all sentient beings primordially are endowed with.
Tindegi dendi semjen chulbe kapsu ani gyoru doye, doru doye taochina sang gewe kapsu di yundendi yagru doye chi yomare. Ko ngo korang gyurwa mebare.
And the essence of our Buddha nature is unchanging. That is to say that at the time when we are extremely confused as these wandering sentient beings in samsara, it doesn't get solid, it doesn't get worse. And when we become enlightened Buddhas, it doesn't mean that the qualities somehow grow stronger, right? There's no change whatsoever to the essence of our enlightened minds.
Tindegi chunyi rangi shila yona yang ta lower ki tulbegi time tibiyongdi tong menu ba an tele ta ringdu chaksongwa charwa.
The only issue is that even though at the basis of of our hearts, of our minds, we all have this suchness, that enlightened nature, basic goodness, it is temporary, obscured by these kind of fleeting, adventitious stains, and that's why we don't see it, that's why we don't experience it.
Tindegi tulba teyang teni tulba takdu nebasne yomare tulba teyang sang rungwa tuba talungi ba den sungra tiba talungi ba tima talungi ba sungra.
And these obscurations, these stains that temporary block our enlightened nature, they are not permanent. They are not there, forever. Actually, they are very much removable. That's what we mean by temporary, fleeting. They could be purified.
제장 아니 갸섭 잠바군베기 귤라면 낭리양 timan namni loruwa san tima chaldurungwa pangdurungwa ki ming tani takpara.
That's why Protector Maitreya in his treatise, the Uttaratantra Shastra, Gyulama, said that these stains, these obscurations are fleeting, they are adventitious. That is to say that they could be removed, they could be purified.
tima chalungmena tengaranzu kom jammaja pejoyo mare. tima chalungimbe topji kom japne dihungondu jurese yore.
If those stains, obscurations that block our enlightened nature were not really temporary and not adventitious, then why to bother to meditate? Whether we do it or not, there will be no any consequences. But it's because they're temporary and fleeting. By practicing meditation, they could be done away with, purified, and our true nature, that is to say, Buddha nature, could be actualized, could be made manifest.
ngaranzo chö jegen din zon demba solgen la gora demba karre su ta demba ta semgi nelu chagore tagarashena.
Dharma practitioners, right? We all search the truth. What is true? Well, this is the truth. The truth. Our nature of the mind, the enlightened nature of the mind, Buddha nature.
Teni demba di tsangma yakpojin ngoshe la teni zumaya ngoshe gora ten kunzob luwe chöjin tendel gi nangwa ti shekore.
But to recognize something which is enlightened, excellent by nature, our Buddha nature, we also need to be aware of what is not true, this kind of deceiving relative phenomena. We need to study and understand them, which is to say we need to study interdependent origination.
Pena ngaranzo chala ngoma changma yena ani ngeba desam gi shukchumbu tangmare dur zumaje yena ta dinjuniga yawache indi to ngoma la ngeba chir tangyongura petenangshire.
Well, for example, if we have something that we think it's really very valuable because it's like this, real thing, not fake one. How can we be sure Well, if we would have, on the other hand, the same thing, but which is just a right copy of the real thing, then we can compare and see, oh, right, this is really not true and it's a fake, right? Then we can become more clear and sure about the real one.
제상 냠len 야부 영에라 군접기 덴바 전담기 덴바 덴바시 세야부시에 그래.
That's why if we want to be good Dharma practitioners, we need to study and understand what is relative truth, what is the ultimate truth, what are the phonable truths.
되니 직된뱅 그 ngor 샤와틴조 군접기 덴바 아니 담배 된기 덴바 다 니도지 하고 그래서.
Right? We need to understand that all these phenomena that appear in this mundane world of samsara, they belong to the relative truth, but their real essence is the ultimate truth.
다디 출 냠nen라 깨자 dordu니시나 ngaranzo tongni gombe kapsu lo namdo sangbu ngemba parmakeso나 다 군접이 왕도 쇼르그래. 군접 냠nen tartu marwa. 티인디 다 셈기 삼주일에 대백이 다 전이대 마유응안 되나 된 단담기 템바 냠nen 엄마 차게요래.
In short, if we were to connect it with practical instructions, when we meditate on emptiness, if we succumb to any type of thoughts, even if that's really great, wonderful, excellent thoughts and concepts, let alone bad or neutral, we're already in the realm of relative truth. We're not meditating on emptiness here, right? If we're already in the realm of our thinking mind, right? Relative is not our final practice that we need to aim for. The real practice here of the ultimate truth is to remain in this state of suchness, which transcends all conceptual thoughts, right? It lies beyond any type of thinking.
당가란조 똥니 냠nen 제베 값수 남주 똥니 코란이 어디 간데레 슬라지인데 것은 다 지도네시나 여바 메바 직 타데 다셴 탐질레 탈바레 슬라기라.
To understand the emptiness, how what is that? Really, it's beyond existence and non-existence. It's beyond being singular, one and many, or many. It's beyond subject and object, self and other.
다 디조 탐제 출 dordu나 셈기 진당으로 알아 니차상.
As all of those, right? In short, what I just named, they belong. Well, they are nothing but grasping, fixation of our mind.
셈기 진당 식소나 대 탐질레 잘바레. 대가랑 똥머니 차사레.
And if we break through this grasping, fixation of our own mind, that's it. That's emptiness. That's shunyata.
당가저 똥니 곰스디가서 곰베 값수 셈기 진당메나 다 여바 메바 지 타데 다 신선데 남샤 가르치면 그 짜와제나 연락각 살아 대낭시래.
And if we meditate on emptiness correctly, that is to say, when we let be in that space that's completely spacious, open, without any grasping or fixation whatsoever, there will be no thoughts of good, bad, singular, plural, self, others, existence, non-existence, because we have already cut the root. If there's no, if we cut through the root, all these branches will be dead. They will fall apart.
다양 삼로시 땅거다디 짐바 잘 세겐텔라 어따디 여버지에 민두 삼데나 디 메진 차거다 디엔 디기 말다.
But be careful, think about this. If we cut through grasping, that is if we think it's not existent, this is non-existent, that's yet another grasping to non-existence.
다디 림버지 인지기 따버라 쓰는다 let go, let's go. Tonta de ko korta. Ngoma dru yorda tsikdela.
This is what Rinpoche always says in English himself. Let go, let's go. That's what I am explaining now.
Let go second zimba mache sungurda.
Let go, the first let go means don't grasp.
Ta khang yin na yang ta yulgi nangwa karbulem na le nabul na le khang la yang loi namdo ki cheba ma shuk shi loi ta chik chajue thamje tang sho sungura.
Whatever appears, right, to the mind, objects, right, do not really discriminate, do not differentiate good, bad, just cut through all those discursive thoughts.
Ti indi ta shemba chö chik naru pa sonye ki tonda dur yore tsikdi.
This is the brief instruction from Tilopa, who said, Naropa, cut through all fixations, all grasping.
Tanga zoki sem di dinde rwa, sem ki namdo di kak na kak toyo yo mares. Kisi kak na yang ko kak begi ta di nga la yang taji kang ne degi rwa. Ta tang chalwa segen di kak ma kak ki namsho tamje le deba chi go re. Ko ta sem korang ki rangshin kandi yo na yang rangshin di nga la sha ne de la tokjo mi chi pa sen. Ta yang sung yung go da. Ta mangbu shugu ma re ken nambo mangbu go charwa la. Ta nyamne nang di kalche sho re.
Our minds are like this. If we try to block the thoughts, trying to stop them, they cannot be stopped. Or even, if we really succeed somehow, we will be in this frozen, rigid state, this kind of like also an extreme, really. This is not the practice that we need to be engaging in. The practice is to remain in completely uncontrived, natural state as it is, which is not blocking or, forcing something, fighting with it. Really, it's beyond that, just as it is. Right? Do not conceptualize, do not try to modify it or alter this natural state. Just leave it as it is. This is the practice we need to be doing.
당은도 당부다 윤통 장망 선체고래 람사 유릉부 영어 말아.
And we won't be able to remain in that right away for a long time. So the instruction is to repeat this session for a short moment, but many times.
된 남도 망부 깨용소나 양 라말라 솔데브레레 양 냠바샤 되는 거래.
And if we somehow get swirled by a lot of thoughts, supplicate your guru at that moment.
다 양답에 내룩세겐디 대바다 먹고 매소나 다 가고 지리 고아 담실리기도 하. 공원에 또 고구나 다 대바다 먹고디 양답 고구도 랑기 싸벨라 말.
To realize the natural state of suchness, we need to have faith and devotion to our teacher. Without faith and devotion, we could get some understanding, like intellectual understanding of this natural state, but we won't be able to really fully realize it.
다 춘이 생인데 소소 랑리비 이식 율라. 다 대조 다 라버도 대바다 먹고군 똑라리다.
Suchness, natural state, is realized through our own self-awareness. It's the domain of our own, right, primordial wakefulness. So we need to have faith and devotion in that.
대바다 먹고 약부 여성와이나 남도기 락바탐 제 디리 카티사레. 다 셈기 춘이 통화라 디바타와 지금마도 통 녀와 착사레.
At the moments of being overcome by strong faith and devotion, the coarse thinking is already cut through, is already severed. Yes, there is subtle grasping that remains, but we got already much closer to realization of the natural state.
다 냠년도 기 시도 자부 띵사인데 다 냠년치는 람상 깨용라.
it's like we have already built a really good, strong foundation. So it's much easier to do that final leap, right? For them to get the final realization.
다 대바 메고 양닥 봤을 게 릴라워 영구민도
But to have a most genuine, pure faith and devotion, that's not easy, right?
되네 다 전이 내룩선 또야 다 갈카보로 차거리
In this way, we have to agree that realizing suchness is not an easy feat.
다 가지 다른 뭐지기 동신 다음에 뵙고라 도낭 전부 제 숭에디 안속이 냠령 엄마 뒤로와 다뒤 도낭 야부지 뒤 곰고래 해서 다조 랍자 대래 가지다 진짜 총마속서는 랍자 엄마 대래다
The real main beef instruction of Rinpoche, really like the essential bottom line, is that we need to be concerned with suchness, be interested, really pay attention to what is the natural state, that wanting to understand it, realize it, meditate on it.
다 셴바 메바 짐바 메베기 낭쫑 셰고 그래 숭래 다 랍자 엄마 뒤숭 그래
So the main really instruction, the point of this instruction is to let go into that space which is completely devoid of any fixation or grasping, and just be in it, sustain that continuity of that realization.
되니 남주름 버지기 랍자 나나 가두이나 숭 그래 미타 교시기 규굴 숭에 디다 두제 탐지 미타바 숭에 된다 되라
Also, Rinpoche always teaches us that we need to be inspired, urged by impermanence, by the whip of impermanence. Sorry. Yankerchik Sunanana, I missed the sentence.
미타 교시기 규굴네 되니 현자기 티와경 딱 봐라 즉 숭그라 되는 뭐지 거랑게 좀 남겨라 디 된다 디다 간저디 최기 dom신안에 미다베 거기 냠년 제당 숭용라
Right. Rinpoche himself composed this really profound verse where the first line is that being inspired by impermanence and disillusionment with samsara, cut for all grasping and fixation. Right. This line, right, the way links with the first among the four Dharma seals, that all conditioned phenomena are impermanent.
대가난신기 도둑 파마로 시니 파진 둘라 쫀 수인디 다 도둑 파마를 시나 대 파마 심전 탐지 동알 숨지랑 실레 마데바 인디 다 닝지 되니 솔라메 바시게 인디 대 파진 두기 냠년 제 수인디다 동알 덴베랑 시 시베고니 닝지 계단지 수용으로
The second line teachings of Rinpoche is that recognize all sentient beings to be your parents and practice the 6 paramitas, 6 perfections. Recognizing all sentient beings being our kind parents and seeing that they are not free of the 3 types of suffering, we give rise to unbearable, overwhelming compassion. And then practice 6 paramitas. So this is the teaching on all defilements being suffering.
되니 가나저 디로알라 잘라 상게수 셰신 되니 솔뎁단 투이세 숭에디다 냠린 야부 동시 다음에 베기 냠린 야부 영해라 상하기 값수다니 텔라마라 다낭 거메 디레다
The next line is that recognize your guru to be a Buddha in person and mingle your mind with his. In the context of tantric teachings, we need to have pure perception.
다 냠령 엄마디다 디숭라 랑셈 추구리 시신 고용 똑숨 자스다 추구세긴 똥반이랑라 다 추구 똥반이 생인데 랑기 셈기 실레 탐이 돼봐 다디 똥시 다음에 베기 냠령 제고그래 숭다 똥시 다음에 베기 냠령 지디 림바다올라 당부 거하게 Teni nyongwaki, ten ngosumki tokbaki rimbatodang sungta.
And the next line from Rinpoche's composition is, that actual meditation practice on emptiness. Recognize your own mind as Dharmakaya. And remain in that state. So Dharmakaya, the Dharma body, means emptiness. Recognizing that our mind is emptiness. And then we need to gain, the last part of Rinpoche's composition is that we need to gain understanding, experience, and realization of that. So when we know that Dharmakaya is emptiness and that's the true nature of our minds, we need to go stage by stage. First, we need to really intellectually fully understand it, but it's not enough. We need to also put it into practice and gain experience. And then at the end, we need to bring forth, we need to have the full stable realization of that.
Ten tagana shingita, zawi lama dang tu irme tu se sengi doala, ta tagarang tarba chagere.
Also, the practice where we mingle our mind with the enlightened mind of our teacher, our guru, right? This is also the practice that we need to be doing. This is the practice of emptiness and selflessness, just like the previous one.
Zawi lame gi tuk chugi gudi nyomong yoba chigdang nyomong dan talware la ta nyomong dan talware slagogra.
The enlightened mind of guru, right? One that we mingle our minds with. That means Dharmakaya. The mind of a guru is Dharmakaya. Is it afflicted or is it free of all afflictions? It's the latter. It's completely free and devoid of all afflictive emotions.
Ta tindegi chugi gudi nyomong begi lapki magoeba nyomong dan talwa hindu tene tarba nyangle deba secondary ta chugi domshi nangi tonda shibat leging doa.
The enlightened mind of Guru, which is Dharmakaya, is our own nature of the mind. Is Dharmakaya is not solid. Is not stained by any afflictive emotions. Realizing that is liberation. That's the fourth Dharma seal, right? Nirvana is peace.
Ta rinpoche kongregi kalop mangbuna sore kongi mitsi kangbu la chik tösam chene ta soso nyamne ningbor dilna kandej yongo sare san ta di sikshiti kongi ta zamnang wara ta di sikshiti tonta di ta chogi domshi gejarang redwa ko lentumna.
These four lines that Rinpoche composed is really the result of a lot of reflection and practice that Rinpoche has been doing for all of his life. Right? This is like the pure realization that he has, that he put into these four lines, and they are nothing but those four Dharma seals.
kongregi nyamlengi sikshiti yang sanggegi ta chagya shile deyo mares.
Rinpoche's the verse of four lines is not different from the Buddha's teachings on the four seals.
Ta ina yang ta tsik sungdang ro chila tekpa tumongi tongshi tameba sungra kongi ta rangsim sangye su shishin konyung toksum chasuyin ta zo de ta rangi semgi chuni segendi ta sanga lame dan dem shukchum bu sung shara.
Just the Buddha has taught that all phenomena are emptiness and selfless. This is more in line with the sutric vehicle, where Rinpoche's line is that recognize your mind to be a Buddha, Dharmakaya, and then understand, experience, and realize that. So that's more in line with the teachings of the secret mantra yana.
Ta chogi kuam tongba niti kowadi ngaranzo ume rikpa latene nyetugre.
And the meaning of emptiness or Dharmakaya we can also find through reasonings employed by the middle way philosophy.
대가난신기 라메 ngotene ngotöba samdi yongchogre.
also could be recognized through receiving pointing out instructions from one's master.
다디 무트네 냠낸 체나 때네 소소 랑릭비 이식이 용화지 깨용거래.
And then to continuously practice that means that we need to bring it into the experiential domain sphere of our own self-awareness, our own wakefulness.
때네 용화디양 따직 무트네 냠낸 난게 때네 지 원숨도 또네 때네 탈치인 거로 알아.
And this experience, and the more we meditate on it, the more we really gain clarity and more experience, then eventually it will become this direct realization.
다 딘솔라 람nga 딘솔 자리에 망부 샤 추고이르 다 딘솔.
This we can also connect with the stages of the 5 paths.
다 딘데시 냠nen치나 데우타르도 가르레 스디 가서 되니 냥을 렌데 봐서 다 동알 탐질 렌데 봐 타르바토 그래 송라.
And by practicing those paths, the result, the final goal result is that of nirvana, which is transcendence of all suffering. Also call it liberation.
되니 가릴레 타르바레스네 레다 뇨몽발레 타르바레 송래.
Liberated from what? From karma and afflictions.
다 레다 뇨몽 동알 숨부 탐지 시와레 송래.
It's to say that karma, afflictive emotions, all the types of suffering are pacified.
다 딘데 인디 다 산지 기 데우 산지 톱송아이나 되니 뇨몽베 랍기 요누고 말에 송래.
So when we attain a state of a Buddha, we won't be affected, right? Moved by the strong waves of afflictive emotions.
다 뇨몽베기 다 지마든 좀마 빵신 사회제라 다 땐도 타르바 양자 뇨몽께서는 연구 말에 송래.
And once we purify all those stains, obscurations, afflictive emotions, they will not arise again. They won't come into being again. That's what we mean by permanent liberation, everlasting peace.
디 가르리 숭인디 가서 딜라 줌젠디네 숭그래. 코랑 산지기 윤덴지 라라 디셈 코랑기 윤덴 ngo마디레 숭그래. 뇨몽바디 네갑 로르바레스 로르바 잘사나 셈 코랑기 랑싱기 윤덴 ngo마디 덴덴바 요요바 다디 달미니바 차게레 숭그래.
And the reason for this, what I just stated, is that the qualities of a Buddha, that's to say also the enlightened qualities of our own Buddha nature, are real. That's to say, that's our real true nature, where these obscurations, afflictions are not our true nature. They're just these fleeting, right, temporary, like clouds. And so once they are removed, our true nature, the qualities of our true nature will shine forth. So they will remain because they are true and real, and stains and obscurations are not going to come back because they were just these temporary blockages.
다딜라 가지는 뭐치기 뇨몬 랍기 미요와 세긴데 고아 약부 렌투스나 된 상하디 값수 군접 닭바침부 세긴 딜라 삼로 코르트 그래 송사.
As Rinpoche said during seminar, that we won't be swayed away by the waves of afflictions. That refers to the view that relative phenomena are the great purity. Relative is the great purity.
다디네 나게 나라 다지당 딘데요레. 뇨몽 미방웨 보네. 다 람체술직 숨거래.
This is very much in line with the tantric view, where it is taught that afflictions are not something that needs to be abandoned, like actively, effortfully.
다디 뇨몽 미방 세디고서 단단 가난존 낭신기 두가치도 랑규바티 마방 세베 고아 레 말에.
When it is stated that afflictions are not to be abandoned. This is not to say that this our 5 poisons that we all have will need to remain as they are right now.
당에기 차장 나는 직장만 쉬기라 빼나 가라서 띠묵스는 디셰장인데 가서 남샤 미셰겐들라 띠묵 라그라.
I will take one of the 5 poisons to illustrate what I'm trying to say. That's ignorance, we can say, right? Which means not knowing the natural state.
다디 카릴라고 그랬으나 디가서 띠묵 미방서 디가서 띠묵 세겐디 랑도니 미셰 바로아 대낭신기 다 셈기 춘이 코랑기 ngo 대라 나랑 저기 숭진이기 쬐바 라 쬐바 마슈바 미셰바 마제바 대리다.
Chopadi
딱세 마땅바.
Shasha.
대 샥샤바로 그래. 쯤에 짐에 들이.
Not abandoning then this ignorance means, well, ignorance means not knowing what to accept and what to reject, right? Not knowing what to accept and reject, but knowing, it's when it comes to the nature of the mind, that's just yet another elaboration, right? That's just another concept. So not engaging, not trying to modify, alter that, just leave it as it is.
뇨몽베기 랍기 유성에나 출바 코르바차 그래. 뇨몽 코랑 마방네 랍기 마요나 되니 코랑 다바람잠 센두비용 그래.
Khenpo di chikchina yankerchik sunran di ngomane na di stachik selpo hakoe gichedo. Di landor gi di masheba.
Ignorance is usually we say ignorance is what? We don't know good and bad. That is ignorance, yeah? The opposite of the wisdom, we're saying that. That is the essence of the ignorance. When Tandarayana says, you no need to avoid the ignorance, that's meaning is when you practice of the nature of mind or Dharma Kaya, that time you don't think anything. That's meaning is no need to think about ignorance. You can think ignorant quality is almost there, and that called the name is ignorance. It's not meaning you no need to avoid the 5 poison means you can do totally 5 poison. It's not that. I'm saying among the 5, only one I'm going to put example, yeah? Ignorance. So how to practice in Tandarayana? Ignorance means you're not thinking good and bad. Even you are the thoughtless, we can say, let's go. That's the meaning of the practice of the ignorance. That's
how we need to understand. I asked Khenpo to clarify this really important point. That's how we understand it. Also, Khenpo said in Tibetan that afflictive emotions, this ignorance, is samsara.
Ignorance have a two part. Yes, saying yeah, nyomong pe lap like doa. Ignorance wave. If you follow, then we become samsari. If ignorance wave you don't follow, we no need to be avoid the ignorance. That is the nirvana. That's why Rinpoche is saying, if you really understanding of these words, you know the pure perception. Then takbaram karila gre nangsi.
All what appears and exists is all pervasive purity and equality.
Tadil ko chumbuleng gores tadi ngagi shungla thosam tos chena lamsang khendo khores.
So if we look at the tantric treatises, we study this is what we can understand right away.
Tadri ngi ta dunga nang ne timu ko la changma shura la dana chi deja shedan timu ngajal thakdos na dunga mipang segendi dunga gi chaldi mipang segendel koes. Chal lap la na tigre la.
Lap digere. So I illustrated this practice of not abandoning 5 poisons with the one of those, ignorance, but also we need to understand that it's the same principle that implies to the other ones, right? Besides ignorance, we have attachment, then we have anger, we have jealousy, we have pride, right? And here what means is, not abandoning is also not following, not being swirled away by the waves of those poisons.
Tan pe shemba shana dochak sene di zimba middle watirawa.
For example, attachment is the grasping, right? Not abandoning that.
Sem korangi chuni te la zimba meba di middle warawa.
Here, when we rest in the nature of the mind, again, here means that we don't follow the grasping, we don't engage with the grasping whatsoever, right? In any way abandoning or following, like just remaining in the nature of the mind.
Labar tinde kwalende sangye gi yunden ta middle warawa ne barawa.
Dini, Khenpo Samgyegi, Yonten, Ji.
Sangye gi yunden te middle wa ne bati ta docha gi chal tawra ta di kwalen kore. Ma to docha rangyu pa nyamne chi sungyu yo marda.
So in the context of the tantras, we're not talking about some ordinary attachment that just needs to remain. Right here, we talk about the enlightened display of that affliction, where for attachment that would be the enlightened qualities of Buddha, right? That kind of richness of the qualities, not really separating from them, not really remaining with those qualities of a Buddha would be the practice of taking attachment onto the path.
Shedang sigindi tanga jogi jomba ta ochela kogura shedangi korangi keju do khari shedang korangi ta korangi ta keju lagora la shedang korangi niwa ta otela parul balandi rangi semdi ma jomba ta ochela kogura.
If we think about anger, it also has this kind of innate quality. Well, quality, yes, we can say feature, perhaps, right? That it's this kind of power, force to kind of demolish someone outside other than us, right?
We usually very easy to say anger is the destroyer, yeah. So Dharma kaya, emptiness is the destroyer of all the attachment. So it's saying essence of the anger, it's within the emptiness, within the Dharmakaya, within the natural mind. So those kind of you need to understand. Then you understand how can we no need to avoid the 5 poison. Yeah, how to be we can include the 5 poison with the practice means actually it's all the natural mind even. So now we need to understand here the wave. If you follow the wave of the negative thoughts, then samsara come. If you not follow the wave, then it is the state of the mind. Tadi lobjong nanggo res, tadi mangbu shuna yang chok ma choki, tadi rimba mangbu yodo kaore, tadi ring dini samshana.
That's what we need to understand, but that requires some studying. So many stages and to this practice. So I think I will leave it at this now.
Tindi ta rimbache ki khajin sung shapa ki chik din zola ta tos to salshe tao tang tengul shutu ki ta lobchen tao chepa yins.
So in these 3 days of teachings, I basically just clarified, or rather like reminded you of what Rinpoche has already taught.
Shemado rimbache khajin chik sumba de la tongba chenpo ki nyamlen yongore, chik sheba de la takpa chenpo ki nyamlen yongore sida khande yongsare sing dida 녀몽 랍 세겐들 다 고주 첨부이랬어.
So the third line of Rinpoche's instructions is the meditation on emptiness. The fourth one is known as the great purity, all-pervasive purity. So I clarified how we can then practice that, and what is really important to understand here is this like waves of afflictions.
다디 rinpoche 가진 세미나나라 최기 domshiki 나라 다 동학 냠nen 탐지 술 돌드네 다 ngodu nangindi 다 냠nen 나로 나시 쉐이.
So during the seminar, Rinpoche has explained that these four Dharma seals include all the sutric and tantric teachings of the Buddha. So now we just need to really put them into practice.
라서 당도 들어 참잖아.
So we'll stop here.
자상기 때니 ngo나로 낭스 냠도.
Let's all dedicate the merit together.
장주 샘주 림보인치 만제 바남 진주인치 개바 냠바 메바야 공내 공돈 배와이쇼 소남디 탐제 세바니 톱네 녜벤라나 밤제니 Kega nachi balan tungbai sibin solen dowan dolwai shu. So thank you.
So thank you, Khenpo, very much.